Welcome back to the Music Men today. The two biggest music nerds on the earth will be.
That's cap. That's cap.
It's gotta be true. It's gotta be true. Well, you can at least say the two biggest losers on the internet are coming
Yeah.
back.
Well, I
oh,
mean, we are rate your music users,
oh yeah,
so
oh yeah. That's just a given. Um,
yeah.
Death Grips tier list. Who doesn't love Death Grips?
My mom.
Yeah, my mom's not a big fan either. Actually, fun story. Um, one of my very first records that I got was the Money Store. I went to
Mm-hmm.
a record shop in Pigeon Forge, and
Mm-hmm.
I got 808s and Heartbreaks by Kanye. I got Untitled Unmastered by Kendrick Lamar, and I got The Money Store by Death Grips. My mom had to see the album cover because it's not
Hmm.
censored like it is on streaming, so she saw the
Yeah.
boobies.
Yeah. So I have a funny story about that too. Like, but with No Love Deep Web actually. Uh, I was with my friends and we were out just doing some record shopping and scrolling through the Death Grip section, and they had No Love Deep Web, but it wasn't the alternate cover. It was in like this black bag. I don't know if you've seen the uncensored No Love. Yeah, the black bag came with that, and so I wasn't originally gonna buy it, but I bought it so I could show my friends what the cover looked like because they don't really fuck with music like that. And so I got home and I took a picture of it. I was holding it up like a badge of honor. It's pretty funny.
Oh God, I remember when you first sent me.
That's the bummer though. It's like you can't display them. I can't display
Yeah,
the ones that I got. I can't display the Money Store or No Love Deep Web
I also
because
have No Love Deep Web on vinyl record, but I've got the alternative cover because I don't even want to risk that.
yeah,
Even though I do have a Terrifier by Pig Destroyer on CD, which is blatantly flashes boobs as well. So
that's a CD though. That's like a
yeah, it's not as big. You can't display it as
not that
easily.
bad. Yeah. Whereas like giant fucking 12 by 12 square of like a fucking cock.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
So
what were we here for? Yeah,
yeah, what are we doing? Starting
Death
with
Grips tier list.
ex-military. Man, I just want to say right out of the gate, these sons of bitches, they came and they were not here to play around. I mean,
No,
we
they
already
weren't.
knew that from the Death Grips EP, but I don't think that was nearly as impressive as ex-military is as an entirety.
No, no. Fucking blew my mind when I first read it.
Very unfortunate that
You
this
can,
isn't on streaming, but like also
you can get it.
they would have the clear like 10,000 samples for this to be on streaming, so I kind of get it.
No, it's whatever. I never had a problem with listening to albums, you know, that are on streaming. But
Yeah, it's
anyway,
just it puts a small wall between inaccessibility and accessible. So I don't know.
I will say I don't know if this affects my perception of it, but this was actually because it wasn't on streaming. This was actually the last one that I checked out. So keep that in mind when I say that as much as I do love it, I don't love it as much as any of the other ones, or a good chunk of them.
I do like it probably more than government plates by far. I don't want to say it's better than any of the other ones. I mean, I don't really want to say any of them are better than the other ones. It's really difficult.
There are a few that I think stand up. Like you have like the dips and valleys in quality in other artists' discography. When I think of Death Grips, I think it's maybe just like a straight line, except for government plates.
So ex-military, where are we putting this? I would say probably first or second tier.
I say second tier.
Okay, we can do that.
Pick your favorite then.
My favorite, I think it's just gonna have to be Spread Eagle, man. That's just a classic.
I'm gonna go Beware.
Beware is a banger.
Yeah.
You really can't go wrong picking any favorite on that album. I don't think.
I kind of not hard to say that about any Death Grips record.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, the Money Store. Oh, I do remember at one point you had said that this wasn't a 10 for you. Do you still feel that way?
I don't know. Honestly, it kind of depends on what mood I'm in. I I feel like all these records are just so fucking good. It's probably not my favorite, but the Money Store has been the one that I think I've come back to the most.
I think that's not a unique experience. I think the Money Store is like
Yeah.
just intentionally way more catchy and uh, memorable than any of the other ones. Even though that
Yeah.
No Love Deep Web and You're the Snitch, they have some maybe higher highs, maybe some wilder moments. The Money Store's just all around great.
The record is it's catchy as fuck. Like you can dance to this shit. It got like the fucking fever. Uh, I've seen footage. Cage, fucking insane.
I remember you were listing off songs that you consider a 10, and you were like, see, there's just some songs I don't consider a 10, like all these songs I consider a 10. And then I started naming off the
And then I
songs that you
listed off the
didn't
whole
name.
track
Yeah.
list.
And then I started naming off the
Yeah.
songs you didn't name, and then you were like, yeah, that's a 10. Oh, wait, that's the whole track list.
Shit, my. Yeah, no, I mean, I've been crazy about fuck that, but again, in the context of the record, it kind of works, you know, top to bottom. I just think this thing is just insanely catchy, fucking insanely produced experience.
I'm not going to front with you. I don't think I could put this
Mhm.
anywhere but S tier.
Same, top tier, bro. I am
Top tier
Fantano.
Death Grips.
I'm feeling a strong 9 to a 10 on this
Definitely.
LP. Yeah.
Now, No Love Deep Web is a strange record because it came out the exact same year the Money Store did. But instead of being like an instrumental or an EP or any sort of uh, like this is what's going to happen later on type
Mhm.
of deal, like the interviews or Fashion Week was, this is its
Yeah,
own project. It's a whole standalone, and it does not mirror the sound of the Money Store at all. It's a lot
for
more
sure.
dreadful and existential. It's atonal rather than melodic in a lot of moments, which is very interesting change up.
It's definitely one of their least accessible records. I'd argue.
Definitely.
Um,
But there are still big hits like No Love. Also, Lock Your Doors is catchy as fuck. I'm sorry, but
I was about to say "Lock Your Doors." Yeah,
yeah.
I fuck with the closer a lot too.
Oh yeah. No Artificial Death,
Yeah,
man.
fuck yeah. I don't think this is a 10. I think it's not as consistent as the Money Store or Bottomless Pit or Year of the Snitch or fucking Jenny Death. I think the middle doesn't have like the middle of the record isn't as standout as maybe a few opening songs are. Like opens pretty strong, and I feel like it kind of slows down a little bit, and you don't get a lot of those fucking bangers on there. And it closes pretty strong, but I feel like the mid section of this album is kind of where it falters a little bit for me.
Eh, I mean, to be honest, I don't really expect bangers at any point in this album. I mean, they just kind of happen off of a fluke, I feel. Because, like I said, a lot of this record is just very atonal. It's very
That makes you sound like a
offsetting.
normie.
Kind of, but not really. I mean, I get
I'm
what you're
not in it for the
saying.
bangers, I promise. Yeah.
You listen
Ah,
through, and some of the tracks just sort of fall flat because, I mean, you've been listening to this very off-settling music for a while, and you're like, well, I mean,
yeah.
it all kind of sounds the same after a minute.
Yeah. I mean, making it sound like I'm not a huge fan of this record. I fucking love this record. I own it, you know? So
Yeah.
it's great. I just don't love it as much as the other ones, you know?
Okay. You thinking?
So,
I'm thinking we could probably settle on an A right above ex-military. Government plates. I'm gonna
government
be
bit.
honest. I don't think this record is nearly as consistent as most Death Grips records. I mean, you can't be pitching this high all the time. I mean, that's just how Death Grips go.
Yeah. Can't be batting 1,000. You know, as much crap as this album gets, and I don't hate it, or I don't not love it as much as most people do.
Yeah.
I do like a lot of the songs on here. Pillbox Hat and Bonnie, Birds.
So are we thinking this record is more middling, or is it okay, or is it good?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. NOTM, also known as Side A. I'm just going to refer to it as Side A.
I'll refer to it as Side A as well. First off, I fuck, I fucking love the sampling on this shit. Okay.
The
I,
fact that they can sample
I,
the same vocalist for the entire album and it doesn't grow stale at all. In fact, I think it elevates as the tracks run on.
it's fucking peak, bro.
Like, we did a run through of this a while ago, like the whole album, The Powers to Be, and I there was a couple songs where I just had to run that shit back. It's so hard.
Dude, up my sleeves, bro. Oh,
That's not even
uh,
like that's not even my favorite song. I don't think.
which one's your favorite?
I'm re-looking at the track list because I saved all of these.
Big Dipper. I'm a binge thinner. Whatever he says.
Billy, not really. I
Yeah,
think
sampling just adds so much character to it. You know,
it really does.
it just it makes it more dynamic. I don't know, but no, it's good, bro.
That's the perfect word I'd use. Dynamic. I think Death Grips perfectly encapsulates chaos on this record. Not that they haven't on previous records, but just more so. You know.
This one, I think this might be their most out of pocket record yet. If if we don't want to throw like ex-military in there, I think this one might be their most inaccessible.
Honestly, if we're talking inaccessible, would you say this or Government Plates?
Government Plates is more sparse than anything, you know? Like it's not super out there, but it doesn't do a lot. Yeah. Whereas this one, I feel like there's a lot of things that you could actively like interpret as being like outside of the box.
I mean, if you really think about it, the Money Store, No Love Deep Web, and Government Plates are sort of like a descending trilogy in the ways that they work backwards. And like the Money Store is perfection, and then No Love Deep Web is deconstructed perfection, and then um, Government Plates is just like completely disassembled.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
How many qualities are in the music? How many
Yeah.
aspects of it are? It's like they're making it less dynamic, and I can
Yeah.
see how that takes away from the music.
Or you could say that, sometimes in order to make something better, you gotta tear it all down first.
Yeah, but that clearly didn't work. I mean, it worked one time, but not the second time. Well, I still wouldn't say no love. It worked fine the first time. It did not pan out as great the second time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
I meant that as more of like a progression going forwards like that. You know. Yeah.
um, which I mean, hell, I think their best return to form, they just did the same shit again. I mean, maybe not as catchy, but the same instrumental aspects. Like, for example,
Yeah.
Bottomless Pit. I feel it's very, very in line with the Money Store.
Yeah. That's Money Store too, bro. It's basically Money Store too.
It is outside of the speed metal and um, occasional
Fuck
noise
you in
rock,
half. Yeah.
which
Um.
they expound upon later. But as of now, it's
Yeah.
just sort of there.
Anyways, what are we feeling for this one?
It's
Also, wait. Shout out the rate your music page for the powers that be, because I think it's got featuring Bjork on fucking every single track.
that's crazy. Because shouldn't it say
Yeah.
like, shouldn't it just say in the credits that she was sampled, like that she's a writer
Yeah.
because her voice was used?
Yeah. It's on screen now if you haven't seen it, but yeah, no, it's just feet Bjork on every single fucking track.
Yeah, I don't get that, but I mean, oh
Yeah.
well. Anyways,
Yeah.
this is definitely an A or a no, definitely an A. I would say probably right under ex-military. It's not my favorite
I
side
would say.
of the album, but I think that's a fair spot for it.
Yeah.
Okay, now Jenny Death. Oh,
Oh
side
fuck, dude.
B.
I like this one. I really like this one.
Oh yeah,
This shit hits like fucking. This shit hits like fucking crack, brother.
I know people
Oh fuck.
talk about "You're the Snitch" a lot because of its noise rock aspects, especially on songs like Black Paint. But I
Yeah.
think this is really, really what started that whole conversation of what the hell is Death Grips and what genre are they? Because
Ugh.
they're like 10 different genres you could pick apart from the first song of this album, and
Yeah.
then it only gets crazier after the first song.
The shit hits you like a fucking truck, and it doesn't let up.
It
It
really
just
does.
keeps going and going, and with every song that progresses, just the pummeling nature of the record, it just you get sucked up in it, you get lost in it, and it's such an amazing fucking feeling.
Definitely.
And then
And
it hits its emotional peak, and then ugh, it just keeps building up, and then on GP happens, and it like bursts, and you're just like it's like you're being it's like you're being edged, and then you come.
and what's the final song? Death Grips 2.0.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of noise.
Is that
It's cool noise.
is it a tribute to any musician, like a composer or anything?
Uh, I don't know.
I'm thinking that you know how clipping at the very end of the album they have a Williams mix.
Yeah. Yeah, or one of those things, one of those weird experimental detours.
Yes, yes. Who is that in tribute to? It's not Cage, is it? Is it Cage?
Williams mix?
Yes.
It might be Cage. I know they did the Yoko piece on
Mid City.
there existed no, there existed had
Oh,
the Yoko piece, and then
what was their existed then?
uh there existed has the piano burning, the where they burnt a piano. It was a field recording.
Oh yeah, piano.
It
Okay.
was like 17 minutes.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Who did what? What was the other piece that you were just talking about?
The Yoko Ono piece, secret piece.
I did not know that was Yoko Ono.
Yeah, it was like she's like a Fluxus artist, and then like it was
Oh,
one of those pieces, one of those performance art pieces or whatever, abstract shit. I'm not too well versed in it, but I know a few things.
right. You want to resume the video now?
I'm kidding. Where were we?
I
Where the
don't
fuck
remember.
were
Let's
we?
just start on Jenny Death.
Okay, how about we just keep that in and we cut all the dead weight or cut all the dead air? Be like a clipping detour.
Where do you want to rate Jenny Death? What do you think about it?
I'll put it in S tier. Put it at the top, bro. Throw it up there.
Right under the money store, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That's
will
kind of
say
what I
though,
was
on
thinking.
GP, maybe one of the best songs ever. It's their best. We can agree on that, right? It's one. At least it's one of their best. It's top five, right?
Um. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
You sounded so unsure when you said that.
Well, I'm thinking of all the Death Grip songs, every single Death Grip song within my brain, right as you said that, and yeah,
Ones that instantly pop up as being close, like Hacker, Spikes,
Spikes, Artificial Death in the West,
Black Paint.
Blackpink, Ha Ha Ha.
Ah ha ha. I love the intro to that song.
Oh yeah. Bubbles Buried.
Bubbles Buried. 3 bedrooms, I guess. 3 bedrooms is just really catchy. I don't think there's anything super special about it. It's just
Yeah.
catchy as hell.
And
Maybe I am a hook hound.
Black Dice.
Dice.
Other than that,
Red
World
Mirrors.
of Dogs maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but besides that, I mean, Anji Piece is still better than like half the ones I mentioned. So
Mm,
those are just some of my highlights.
yeah. Yeah, same. Fucking up my sleeves.
Up my sleeves, up my sleeves, up my
Up my
sleeves,
sleeves.
up
Up
my
my
sleeves.
sleeves. Up my sleeves. Up. I think Ride has something up his sleeves, bro.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. All right.
So, the one we've all been waiting for, Bottomless Pit.
The the goat.
The
I
Money
think.
Store 2.
Money Store 2. I honestly, I think if you want a perfect like distillation of every single Death Grips record, you're gonna find it in Bottomless Pit. It's got some of the more noise rock elements. It's got a lot of the catchy industrial hip hop elements. You know, I just feel like it brings their entire discography into one project. And I think it's their best work because of it.
What if I told you
You know
that
what I'm saying?
what if I told you that this album heavily reminds me of Ween?
Ween?
Ween.
I need you to elaborate on that.
Okay, so on Quebec, the
Mm-hmm.
album starts off with a speed metal record,
Yeah.
and then it progresses low key. Ween, Quebec is probably their most like consistently sounding record, but then they
Yeah,
still have a few
I'd argue.
oddballs on
I'd agree
there,
with that.
and that's
Yeah.
how I feel about this record because it has
Yeah.
a pretty consistent electronic industrial hip hop sound with a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
electronic infused with it, a little bit of rock infused with it, but then it's oddballs.
Yeah. It's like every piece of their discography put into one project and hammered out, and out pops the Death Grips baby. Fuck, there was such a better way of putting that. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. So this one
Yeah.
definitely for me above the Money Store.
But fuck yeah, above the money store. Dude,
And
fucking top to bottom. Can we talk about Spikes for a second?
oh yeah, we can talk about Spikes.
Spike, 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 Spike.
Spikes has no
Dude,
reason to be as catchy as it is.
none of these songs do, bro.
Like Spikes
My
is
brother,
actually one of the best. Like if you've ever been working out the Spikes, it works
dude,
perfect for that.
dude, my body is a machine that turns spikes into going 100 miles an hour on the freeway. Uh, dude, don't. My brother, who doesn't even listen to music like that, I put him on to this album, and now he bumps fucking spikes, bubbles buried, all the fucking time.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's just the most successful songs here.
I love
Love
the title track too.
for sure.
So sick. Yeah,
Oh
kind
man,
of like a hardcore track.
sort of, kinda.
Kind of.
I get that with a lot of tracks here. I mean, any of the ones that
Yeah.
aren't like super over aggressive or well, not over aggressive, but more when there's not too much going on in a track, it
Mm-hmm.
feels really punky.
It's stripped back,
Yes,
basic.
not
Yeah.
basic, but just not as much going on.
Hmm.
Because with punk, I feel like the message forefronts all of it. The vocalist forefronts all of it. And with Death Grips,
Mm-hmm.
it's not super rare for MC Ride to be over top even the most absurd instrumentals. So it's like Danny Brown.
Yeah.
That silence is loud, man. All right, all right. Now,
Good tap. Want a
steroids.
good rock record? Steroids.
Steroids is a great rock record.
Fuck yeah, it is.
So what do we think of steroids?
You know, I don't really know how to put this into words though, because it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of hard to. Um, I fuck with steroids a lot, a lot, a lot. Um, but you know, it's kind of an interesting one.
I feel like the fact that it's 22 consecutive minutes kind of throws people off because, like, really, it's divided into sections,
Yeah.
just like any other
Well, it's just
super long song.
yeah, yeah, but no, they don't feel like different suites in a piece. They just feel like separate songs. You know.
It just sounds like almost like a rave to me. Like it's like a DJ mix, but like it's really original and not uh, other people's
Yeah.
material.
Yeah. I
It's
think it's hard.
definitely like the best break between projects they've ever done.
So good that we actually wanted to mention it.
Yeah, unlike Fashion Week and interviews, they're fine. Like the material, but it's sort of like it's sort of like if I was doing a Black Sabbath ranking, I might leave out the Dio stuff just because I think it's different. It's not
Yeah.
Black Sabbath.
If you're doing that, you would sort of classify it like Ozzy era Sabbath tier list. You know,
Actually, you know what? I
Uh,
honestly, just because I like the Dio era so much, I might not do that if we ever do that.
I feel like at that point, if you put Ozzy era and Dio era, you kind of just have to include the rest with it too.
Yeah.
If you're gonna cut out one era and just sorry, if you're gonna cut out one era and just focus on that, and that's fine. You know, say I was making a like 2010s Giz ranking, for example.
Yeah.
You know, to just kind of narrow down the records. But if
I
you're
feel like with
including
Giz it'd be
two,
different though, because the forefront of Giz is never really like it was never made out of one person. It was sort of just kind of like
mm,
we're trying everything, and no particular member of the band is super special in that regard.
yeah, I know that was just the first thing that popped in my head. I don't know where I was going with that.
I got you.
Um,
It's like Michael
but
Gira more so. Like if Michael Gira left Swans and they were to make a Swans record, would it be a Swans record?
no,
Hell
fuck
no.
no, it wouldn't.
Hell no, it wouldn't. Because
Mike,
Michael Gira is just the
Michael G,
forefront of the brain.
Mike.
I mean, would it even sound
Sorry,
like a Swans record? Really?
no, it wouldn't.
I don't think another
Michael
man.
G. Raw,
G
Michael
Rod.
G. Raw is Swan. It is G. Raw.
Ah, gotcha.
Sorry, that's why I laughed at you. It's because you said Gira.
I've never heard it pronounced otherwise.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
Interesting.
No, I think it's Gira. I think it's G-Raw, I think.
I've never heard it pronounced. I've actually never heard anybody in real life talk about swans, so that probably
Dude,
explains it.
you're my... You, I'm like one of your biggest homies, I think. I talk about swans all the fucking time.
Yeah, but you honestly, I think most of the time we talk about G-Raw, it's over text.
Hmm. Yeah. We don't really mention him by name either.
Also, we don't really
Mainly just
like
swans.
out loud. We don't really call that much. Most of our conversations
Mhm.
happen over text, and also whenever we do have a conversation over voice, it's usually the most random shit. It's the most random shit.
Yeah.
It's never like
Yeah.
one. Like even when we're doing a dedicated video to Death Grips, we have to have at least one section where we talk about like Code Orange or something.
It's like that random, like, you hear that new Whitman Charles album or some bullshit.
What video where was it the Black Country New Road video where we just randomly started talking about Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne? No, Lil Wayne was the Olivia Rodrigo video.
Even worse. What?
Wait, was it?
No,
I think.
no, I don't think it was that long ago because the Olivia
No, it
Rodrigo was
was.
almost a year ago.
That's fucking crazy. We
It
gotta
is.
get our body of work up. Uh, no, well, I think it might have been the Olivia Rodrigo video.
I don't
What
think.
other videos are there?
Okay,
'Cause we never talked about Lil Wayne in our album of the year video.
no, it wasn't the album of the year video. I think it was the Black Country New Road. Have we done any other
No,
tier lists?
no,
Just the Black Country New Road?
because I remember watching the Olivia Rodrigo video with my brother, and as soon as you mentioned that about the Lil Wayne part, my brother was like agreeing with you.
It might have been the Olivia Rodrigo. That was.
What a weird fucking tangent.
And now we're on another tangent talking about Lil Wayne, about Olivia Rodrigo, about like in a Death Grips video.
Mm.
God damn it, dude.
Shout out Lil Wayne.
Real. What if Lil Wayne and Death Grips made a collab?
I don't know, man. I don't need Death Grips compromising their artistic integrity like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I
Uh,
don't trust Lil Wayne branching into other genres. Like we already had
Rebirth,
yeah,
Rebirth era
Rebirth.
Lil Wayne, but it's just Jenny Death instrumentals. That might actually go hard. Actually,
Unfortunately, I think it would probably be well, it would obviously be far better than Rebirth, but I mean the bar's already
I
been
need
hell in it.
someone. I need someone to make a mashup album right now, please.
Anyways, where the hell was we? Steroids? Yeah, steroids is great, man.
A tier, bottom of A tier.
Bottom A tier? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, This whole video is just two guys start talking about Death Grips album, go on a tangent, come back to said Death Grips album, and put it in the ranking somewhere.
Random guys begins doing a Death Grips tier list and start talking about like Doom 3 Viper House maps.
That's a Roblox game. They're gonna make a Roblox game.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck man.
We're both going to hell for sure.
And you were worried about getting canceled in the album of the year video?
Yeah, we're definitely going to hell for that one. I don't even care about being canceled. I ain't being forgiven for that one. Oh well. Now, bottom. You're the snitch.
See, we can't even. You're the snitch.
It's so good.
Ah, fuck. It is really good. I own this one, by the way.
I really don't
Let me
like the
def-
album cover. It really scares me.
You don't?
Well, I mean, I
kind
do,
of
but
dig.
it's kind of like weird.
I kind of dig how like outside the box it is, and fucking it reminds me that I need to brush my teeth. You know, so I respect it for that.
Definitely. I see it. What does No Love Deep Web remind you of?
Zach Hill's fat cock.
I got you. Makes sense. It reminds me personally that I'll never be Zach Hill.
Yeah, no.
But
You could never make Necromancer.
definitely not. I don't think he could make anything Zach Hill's made. Maybe.
No. I could recreate that picture.
I don't think I want to see that.
Because I'm not making it.
No Love Deep Web 2.
No Love Deep Web 2. Featuring the Music Man.
Oh man. So, You're the Snitch is probably it almost feels like a compilation of everything they've been working up to this point. It encapsulates a lot of the sounds that you hear on The Money Store and The Bottomless Pit. It also cross merges with that noise rock sound that you hear on Jenny Death. It's not as melancholic. It doesn't have a moment like that like on GP does, but it's just consistently incredible, all the way front to back.
I would agree. Yeah.
And because of that, I think it's slightly less consistent than The Money Store, but I think it's a step above Jenny Death. Just based on the fact that it's more versatile, and I think it's aged better. Because honestly,
I don't think any of these have aged particularly bad.
I think a couple
think.
of them. I think No Love Deep Web and I think Jenny Death have just particularly aged sort of as we move further and further into the digital era. I feel like stuff that uses super raw 808s and uses super older hip hop's older like 20. You know how hip hop sounded after the Bling era, like ASAP Rocky, Drake, and all that. It sort of recognizes a lot of hip hop elements like that in it, just to kind of counterbalance everything else that's going on. Cause Jesus, but those sort of elements I think kind of drag them down a little bit, not much, because you know the content's still there, the composition's great, the music itself is great, but there's just a few things that sort of off-put it less for me. Because, like, The Money Store, it came out 3 years before Jenny Death, and it sounds like it hasn't aged a day. Like, if The Money Store came out today, it would still feel fresh.
For sure. I get you.
So, yeah. You're the Snitch for me is their third best.
You're the Snitch for me, I'd say, is their third best. Yeah, put it up there.
I think that about sums it up. I'll read the list back to you, Bennett. Bottomless Pit at number 1, followed by The Money Store, Year of the Snitch, and Jenny Death.
Mhm.
In B tier, we
Okay.
have No Love Deep Web, Ex-Military,
Homies on the moon.
and Steroids.
Yeah.
And then there's
Get
actually
that shit.
nothing. There's nothing in the good section. Little surprising, because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's Death Grips. All of it's good,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in the fine slash okay slash middling section, we have government plates, which I
Yeah.
feel is pretty reasonable.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. Well, that about sums up the video. Are
Feel
there any final thoughts you have?
Honestly, I feel like I don't know. I was gonna say something about how unoriginal this idea was, but I didn't give a fuck. But I couldn't find the words for it,
I mean,
which I guess I just did.
I feel like originality will just come as we become like we
I
make
don't
more
care.
videos.
I'm just having fun with this, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's a good time.
I
I was
mean,
like
at the
people
same
have
time,
done it
like
before, but like we haven't done it before, you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So,
Well, that's one part of it. And the other fact is, whenever we start doing like album retrospectives, we're gonna do like one album that everybody's heard, and then like gore metal by Exhumed. Like nobody's ever listened
yeah.
to that shit, bro. Except like
Or like
the metal fans.
Yeah, or like Whitman Charles. Nobody's ever heard of Whitman Charles.
Or what was that one? There was one record in particular, like you said, 2 or 3 albums that I had recognized, and then you said one record.
Was it the Scott Walker?
Yes, that's it.
Bish Bosh, yeah.
Yeah. Is
No, I
that
just wanted to go
super
over that one
renowned or
because
what?
of how. What's that?
Is that super
No,
renowned
it's
or?
one. As far as Scott Walker's albums go, I wouldn't say it's his most critically acclaimed. I'd probably give that to any of his numbered albums or The Drift or The Rift. I forget what it's called. But no, this one, it was his last record before he passed away. And it is just fucking balls to the wall, experimental. It is a weird fucking record, and I kind of love it for that.
I hear you.
It's so outside the box. I think it would just be an intriguing video, just to cover that record, just talk about it.
Well, we could definitely do it.
Yeah.
Pull it off. I will definitely start working on this video tomorrow.